in the colonies of Australia in the 1850s. So we filmed in Sydney last summer. Very much so. Australia, heat, blue skies, bright sets. You'll see that it's not very close to England.
Okay. And can you tell us a bit about your own character, Lady Fanny Fox? What's her backstory? How does she sort of fit in to Artful Dodger? Is she on the side of good, bad, evil, indifferent, romantic? What's her sort of role?
You hit the nail. Romantic, I think, is one of Fanny's main character traits. She's the governor's daughter and the younger sister to the lead character, Lady Belle Fox, and is quite a contradiction. Belle's mostly involved in medicine and science and breaking the norms of, what it is to be a woman of that time. Whereas Fanny, on the other hand, is much more sticking to her femininity and the tradition of having a husband and throwing tea parties. She's very, very your traditional ladylike lady, but there's a bit more complexity to her as well. So I don't want her to put her in the box of just one thing. There's a lot to her that's there.
So you mentioned that. So is there an element of posh and royalty in the exterior and maybe a bit of fragility in the interior of her makeup?
There's definitely the kind of aristocratic level of, she's kind of wearing rose-tinted glasses. She hasn't really experienced, and Fanny both are somewhat sheltered with their upbringing and only knowing what they've been taught and what they're allowed. So it's kind of about, for Belle, rebelling against what we've been taught as aristocratic, wealthy, women of the time. And for Fanny, she's yet to kind of explore that or know that there's anything else out there except for finding a husband, because she's so desperate. You'll notice in the first episode, she's absolutely desperate to get Belle to marry, because if Belle doesn't marry, she can't, because I'm the youngest sister. So it's very much so like a Jane Austen. Our world is very Jane Austen compared to Dodger and Fagin, who's in a completely other show, basically.
And can you tell us about the lead character himself, played by Thomas Brodie, Sagner, Artful Dodger? Obviously, Dodger, a sort of trickster. Is it trickster by name, trickster by nature?
Oh, I would say I don't think he's a trickster. I think basically Dodger is he's older now, so he was sent on a ship to Australia as a convict, and now has picked up surgery skills with his nifty fingers. Yep. So he's a derelict surgeon trying to change his past and doesn't want to get caught up in what used to be, as we know him in Oliver Twist. So he's an older character, and he's definitely not so much a trickster. He's very ambitious and fighting for his own, and
so he's sort of reborn, is he? Is he sort of reborn? It's sort of a new coming for him. It's a new chapter in his life.
Well, until good old Fagin shows up to try and bring him back to his past. So is he newborn? I'm not sure. You'll have to watch it and see. But it's definitely a twist, pardon the pun, on twist. So you'll notice there's a lot of crime and medicine and surgery and the kind of Dickensian, comedy, tragedy. There's a lot in this, but it's very different as well to what we would have seen in Oliver Twist or from The Artful Dodger.
Yeah, and I suppose the other sort of lead character, Maia Mitchell, plays one of the lead sort of female roles as well. And dare I say, is there a bit of unity between the female cast?
Oh, completely. We've got Maia Mitchell, who's absolutely amazing. Susie Porter, who's one of Australia's, one of our best female actresses, and we have Jessica de Gouw, and then not to mention the male cast as well. But there's definitely a female power on this set, and we had great directors as well. Jeffrey Walker, Gracie Otto, Corey Chen, who really kind of brought a different kind of spin on each block of the series. But yeah, I think, you know, there is definitely a feminist twist with Belle's character. You know, it's that woman that wants to break free from societal pressures and what she's been taught, and she wants to be a surgeon and in medicine. And in those times, you know, women couldn't vote. We couldn't do those jobs. We were expected to do one thing. So there's a real female power in this. So I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with, and even, you know, Susie Porter, who plays our mother, she just comes out, you know, episode 7 and 8, completely like, you know, whole new character.
And I suppose, Lucy, in terms of that, you mentioned about the aristocrat sort of look and the sort of vibe that goes with, and that sort of elegance. Was it a delight? Was costume every day, wardrobe for you every day a treat, in terms of seeing what you were going to be kitted out in terms of, dare I say, the garments that they wore back then? Because, dare I say, they sort of packed a punch, and I imagine once you had to get into one of those, I say you felt the weight of it, in terms of, I imagine there was an awful lot to them.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of weight, a lot of corsets and a lot of layers, chemise, bloomers in 40-degree Australian Sydney heat. So the repression women felt back then, I definitely kind of, you know, it was there from just the costuming and the weather, which is what they would have felt like, you know, back then. So yeah, completely. Lady Fanny Fox has a completely, you know, a beautiful wardrobe of pink feathers, things she probably made herself, compared to Belle, who's more tartan red, you know, masculine kind of boots, lace-ups. Yeah, I had these amazing little ballet flats with these beautiful blue bows and the silk, you know, and they really kind of, well, not what I was expecting at first. I kind of imagined Fanny a little bit different. And then the costume and makeup team brought together the curls and the bows and the lace. And I was like, wow, okay, this is Fanny. Okay. She's a real lady.
And in terms of the themes and the concepts running through the show, would you say it's garnished to a more light, mature sort of audience, or is there a sort of heavy context, maybe, or gripping context that we see from time to time running through the series, or is it more light-hearted, more mellow sort of family sort orientated?
I think there's a bit of a range of who it's for. I think teenagers would love it. I think Thomas Brodie Sangster has, you know, his own following, and David Thewlis and Maia Mitchell. You know, Maia Mitchell's got a lot of followers for it that are a bit younger, and I think it's all ages. I really think that adults will love the kind of Victorian era and the crime and the medicine and the kind of science behind it. It's a real mixed bag, because there's a lot of gore as well, which younger people probably won't be able to watch as much. And that's the one thing that is making it a little bit more for an adult audience. But I think it's you know, a bit of everything.
Okay. And dare I say, are we talking about an ultimate crescendo at the end of season 1 that will leave us in mysterious mode or mystery mode before season 2, or is it dare I say, there's many no TV show is plain sailing, there's always a few rocks and bumps along the road? Can we expect a good lot of rocks and bumps in terms of Artful Dodger, in terms of how the characters play out?
In terms of the series, you mean?
Yeah,
or
in terms of season 1, in terms of season 1, leaving us with many questions heading into season 2.
I think season 2 hasn't been confirmed.
Oh, yeah, if there is.
But you know, hopefully, you know, there's a lot to be told. I think the writer James McNamara has created a really unique world where, you know, these are just people that are so Dickensian and heightened and entertaining and funny, and also slightly tragic and heartbreaking in many ways. Like the show's got a bit of everything, and the snippets that you see from the supporting cast, which includes me, you know, there's a lot to be told, but you know, there's a lot more to grow, I think, in all the cast. So there's so many stories. It could go a million ways. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's, you know, people have really liked it here in Australia, so I think, you know, it's cool.
We're waiting here in joyful anticipation here in Ireland. And Lucy, before we came on air, you mentioned you've a bit of Irish blood in you, and you've visited our capital on times in the past in terms of Dublin. You might enshrine some of those memories of your Irish connections and Irish visits to us.
Yes. I've got the ancestors in Tipperary, but I spent a little bit of time in Dublin, and I saw Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? I think it was at the Abbey Theatre. And I went to Trinity College and saw some friends and really got a good taste of Dublin. It's a beautiful city, and Ireland's a really special place to me. So, you know.
That's all brilliant, and we welcome you back at any time, Lucy, that's for certain. But before we let you go, Lucy Rose Leonard, now if I can turn it over to you and your character, Lady Fanny Fox. Why should all the audience here in Ireland tune in to Channel Disney Plus on January the 17th to watch season 1 of Artful Dodger? And for the final 30 seconds, Lucy Rose Leonard, what's in store for them?
Oh, I think there is a lot in store. You've got a fast-paced, punchy, light-hearted, entertaining show that, you know, I think it's something that everyone needs at the moment. There's a lot of chaos in the world, and I think this is something to kind of escape into, and it's very easy to binge. Watch it in a day, watch it in a weekend, and you'll see the beautiful landscapes of Australia, the blue skies, the kind of what it was back in the 1850s in a Disney TV sense. And yeah, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at the most amazing cast. You've got David Thewlis, who is the most amazing Fagin, Thomas Brodie Sangster, Maia Mitchell, Damon Herriman. The talent in this is just unbelievable. I'm so lucky to have been involved in this project. It's been a dream. It really has.
And all that's left for me to say is, from me, Jim Conlan, to you, Lucy Rose Leonard, stay safe, take care, God bless. No doubt there'll be season 2 in the horizon, and 3 and 4, and even though, who knows, maybe a 5 to come of Artful Dodger. But for the moment, let's cherish, let's enjoy season 1 airing on January the